So let me emphasize form 2 as it is the most significant and important. It is the master form. Kind of confuses you, right? I am the second child. First is the worst, second is the best. They seem to have followed this thing as immature as it is. Their philosophy is immature. It is immature to not grow up, as Apep who swallows the eye of Ra is said to be a primitive version of Ra. It is the baby person, the baby spirit in man that never grew up, that lusts instead of loves, takes the easy way out, which is the dark side, and so on and so forth. Well, I have a lot to go over. Okay. So, page 66, Maka Shi. Okay, make a shoe. The shoe should follow the alpha male, not the E, the equality, gender neutral, evil, beta, and so on. Okay, effeminate and so on. Okay, emasculated and so on. Okay. So contention form way of Yasala Mary. Okay, and I went over that Y cell A more I. Okay, 2 of 6 traditional forms. Precise strikes, page 67. Well balanced footwork. Hops and cartwheels are for the rabble, is what Dooku said. Mark of combat, disarm blow, is called the Sun Diem. That disarms the lightsaber. Again, another Sun reference. Okay, so this is said to be a precise blow to strike without killing the person. Cut his hand, cut the lightsaber, cut his wrist, just enough to get them to disarm them, and then you've won. Okay, so this is the master form, and it also can be used to execute people. Shiak, and that's just part of the master form, the Sun Diem. Shiak, straight ahead, piercing stabs. They do line fighting, okay, to avoid acrobatics. Instead of jumping off the line, right, they do line fighting. Front stance, back stance in Taekwondo. You know, horse stance, you know, boom, horse stance, okay. Back stance is like a 90-degree angle, for toes pointing forward, back foot, toes pointed at a, you know, like in a cross. Think of a cross, a line fighting, okay. Also has to do with lateral movements. In horse stance, both toes pointing forward, about shoulder length, a little bit more than shoulder width apart, okay, pointing straight forward, slightly bent. The upper body curved a certain way, right? Kung Fu, I believe that was part of Taekwondo as well. There's nuanced in Kung Fu. So we have front stance, side stance, front stance, horse stance, back stance, bow stance, cat stance. Okay, which puts, you know, the front foot can be lifted up easily, right? It has to do with stealth, and that's also part of Kung Fu and Taekwondo. So moving on. Disciple discipline. It's called the most disciplined of the forms. Again, this is form 2, around page 67, I believe. These forms are used for saber-to-saber combat. The Blade Masters use form 2. Blade Master is a Jedi Master's honorific title when he's mastered form 2. Okay, form 2, during duels, mid-year, the duels are called fete, F-E-T-E, or feet-E, which means they have the beta feet, evil, equal, right? These are the servant feats, right? Peasant, peon, okay? Ant, okay? Servant, ant, okay? So when we look at, now that takes us to form 3. So remember, form 2 is about the precision strike, and I always talk about I'm the son of a brain surgeon, Ebo from Ari's cult center, right? Da-da-da-da-da, boom, surgical strike, super fast, okay? Godspeed, I have the record for, you know, speedy strikes, straight on blows, okay? The main difference between my philosophy and theirs is I have the A feet, I have the lateral movement, I have this kind of basketball player, outmaneuver, you know, somebody, okay? Outwit and outhit, outmaneuver, outthink, insight, innovation, speed, stealth, okay? The things I always bring up in my videos, okay? Form 3, the lightsaber combat, Sor Esu, S-O-R-E-S-U, Sor, So, okay? Sor C, So Sor, Sor C, Sor So, as in to sow your seed. So Ra and C. They sleep with the people who are dumb enough to have sex and have the children with the E, and they try to see over time. It's a generational reproduction, produce offspring, seed, and so on. the serpent seed, if you will. So page 69, it talks about resilience form, the ultimate expression of defense whose masters are said to be impervious to all forms of attack. The calm eye of the storm. Again, El, the Canaanite deity of the storm, and his son or son-in-law, Baal. Okay, Set, the deity of the storm and chaos, because he's associated with and aligned with Apep. It goes back to Pharaoh Pepi and so on. Okay, moving meditation used. Tai Chi is meditation in motion. Precognitive state. Moves close to the body for another saber-wielding enemy. Okay, so you're in a precognitive state. Again, it has to do with your mental state. Mind, body, and soul. Psych meds are not conducive for these forms. They interfere with martial arts and thus with religion, lifestyles, and one's pursuit of happiness. It's unacceptable. Not to mention freedom of speech, as they confound the speech and cause disorganized thinking, slurred speech, rapid speech, changes the speech pattern, and stiffness of muscle, and all kinds, loss of coordination, all kinds of horrible, horrible side effects, and are unacceptable. And no true martial artist would willingly submit himself to such treatment, which is pretty much the core of Western culture, is mental health set in social norms on behalf of the corporate state that since the Justinian, about 500 AD, funds trade groups and cults and different organizations that influence social life and social norms, customs, traditions, and so on. Form 4, Ataru, aggression, way of the hawk, bat. Bat is the deity on the kilt of Narmer, on the Narmer palette, discovered by Nekhen in southern Egypt. Hawk or falcon is the Horus deity. Horus the elder, Har-wer, Horus the great one. Haru the great one, A-Ra, the A, alpha male with the spirit of Ra. Haru, the H is the fence. Okay, and this goes back to boxing and fencing, how they're invalid E forms of sport, right? Spartan, with the feminist suffix sport, okay, versus sparring without the feminist suffix. Ba, the soul, versus bat with the feminist suffix. She was a female cow deity. The footwork, again, the reason why he's wearing it, because bat by itself is not a bad thing. Bat trying to be in charge, Set fixating on Isis and Bat and Neith and Nephthys and Sekhmet and Bastet is a bad thing. Okay. So we go on to say, okay, so now we're at Form 4, Ataru, aggression. Speed and stamina needed, short bursts. There's a bunch of jumping and flying techniques, right? There's the hawk bat swoop, the strike and withdraw, kind of flying strike, withdraw. Falling leaf technique, the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nation, going back to trees. Hawk bat, okay, saber swarm, multiple short stabs. Okay, so this goes back to these people are the E, so they have to jump. If you're tall, you're not going to spend a lot of time jumping. What for? The purpose of jumping is to get an angle in an unorthodox manner, in a hard to predict manner. So, to really mimic the tall pharaoh striking down. These are the guys who are emulating and mimicking Pharaoh. Okay, if you can move at different angles and strike at different angles, right? Okay, you're going to want to stay on the ground. And of course, that's why Dooku said, when I went over Form 2, in Part 1, he said this is for the rabble and the peasants. Right? What did he say exactly? Well, I don't have time. I'm running out of time. So basically said it's for the rabble, it's for the basic servants and so on. All right. And of course, he's a count who's proud of his status, but he's also an E. He's a tall E, and we see this in various races, pretty much in every race across the world. The tall guy who's not so coordinated, right? Coordinates coordinate, figured out shape, and so on. Okay, saber swarm. Okay, footwork, su ma. Okay, jung su ma, a rapid spin. Ton su ma, a somersault. En su ma, a cartwheel. So these are moves that shorter people do to try to make up for their difference between them and the tall guy. Leap higher, jab faster. Okay? Tired muscle energizing. These are key to the forms. Okay, good. I'm doing pretty good on time, actually. Form 5. So let's go ahead and go back to Form 2, the most disciplined of the forms, okay, and how it relates to that. Form 2 is really the master form. It's the coordinated tall guy form, but it can be used by the smaller people as well. Precise, okay, so Dooku said, okay, he says, hops and cartwheels are for the rabble. Okay, so this has to do with well-balanced footwork for the E, okay, versus kind of tap in, right? Tap out. You know, kind of moving the feet, rapid movement, coordinating the rapid movement. If you can't coordinate your body that well, you're going to be forced to do kind of set stances, right? Set positions. I go over this in my other videos. You should really watch all of my videos, especially on this channel. I overkill these points, and there's no other way to see it when you watch more than maybe 20 or so of my videos. Okay. Page 72, Form 5, Shin, Gem, So. Okay. And there's wordplay there. Shu, in, see, so, in, show, on, and so on. Okay. Preservance form, the way of the crate dragon. The crate dragon. Think outside the box, outside the belly of the beast, right? Xian, redirect bastard fire back toward a target. This has to do with strength, kind of like baseball, bat. You're batting it back to the target. Of course, baseball players aren't known for their coordinations, at least not a lot of the batters, right? Kind of potbelly guys, kind of using force to bat the ball back. And, you know, in theory, if you're very good at it, you know, you can strike the ball back toward the pitcher and injure him, okay? So to redirect blaster fire back toward a target. The Form 4 is about speed and agility. This form is Form 5. It's about strength. The towering stature and imposing musculature, right? Muscular and tall are said to be best suited for this form. Anakin points out that you can use the Force to increase your strength, so it shouldn't be limited to them. Of course, he eventually turns to the dark side. Gem, so same idea, but for saber-to-saber combat. Fluid riposte is probably the most pronounced, the most common of this form, which is deflecting an enemy attack and a quick counterattack. So kind of using muscle to dominate the force, to dominate your opponent and then quickly countering and slicing. Falling avalanche, overhand blow, jump up and come down, okay, to shatter armor. It's a forceful strike. And of course, this is the dragon, which is the main martial arts animal in karate, kung fu, and a lot of the Eastern arts and so on. Okay, and of course, you have the tiger, which is significant to Taekwondo. I don't have time to go over that. The 5 animals of kung fu, basically: tiger, panther, snake, crane, and dragon. The dragon is said to be the master animal because it's like a very strong guy with armor, with unorthodox moves. But of course, this is a worldly kind of magician, alchemy, chemistry, kind of, scientific approach, which is not spiritual. Okay. Goes back to conscientious, sciences, seance, and so on. Form 6, Niman, moderation form, way of Rancon. Telekinetic to draw your enemy closer, right? Word, backwards draw. Okay, this also has to do with the mind control techniques we see, and they're pretty much definitively proven. We see the Frey effect. We see the on record, scientists can read your mind. That's what they've released to the public. It's safe to say that the things that a lot of people have been experiencing, thousands of Americans, with the government reading their mind, and some people say that this is part of how they convince people they're abducted by aliens, cause them to hallucinate, give them drugs, suggestibility, mesmerize them, hypnotize them, hypnosis, right? Gnostic, knowledge. Of course, that's how they got them to believe that and have all these people around the world. And anal probing, right? Pederastry, homosexuality, bisexuality is part of their so-called experience. And that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so telekinetic, okay, again, this is Form 6, moderation. This is the last form, right? Moderation. Okay, and this favors the short guy kind of thing, right? And there's a lot of pictures of shorter Jedis, and I don't want to ruin the book for you, again, Star Wars: The Jedi Path. Okay, anyway, draw closer, pulling, slash. Pull them in, slash them, push them away, okay? 75, Dooku again has another footwork quote. 76, marks of contact, Cho Sun, okay, which is the tricep, bicep, cut off their arm. The arm is key to the striking of the panther, the leopard, okay, versus the panther, leopard, draw, so leopard, draw, pay El, okay, pay homage to whatever El means Lord. It also specifically in the context from the perspective of the storm god of the Canaanites, El is Ra, El, yes, Ra is El, eyes of Ra, El. They want Ra's son to be Set instead of Horus, going back to the contention of Set and Horus for who would be Pharaoh, Horus I, Horus the Elder. Everything else is satanic bitch Okay, so 76. Okay, 78. Sensibilities, life, direct detection, prima vita, prime A, vi to E, pro me, pro A. Tactus otium. Tact is me at O, sense force. So senses are key. Going back to my argument, sense, reason, faith. Going back to the cognitive process, don't have time to go over it. 80. Magnifying the senses. Practicing sensibilities. Projective telepathy, post-cognition. They bring up cognition again. This goes back to my psych med argument, and I'll end it there.